Hi, welcome back. For those who did not come in the morning, we are using this website. It's on my own website. Yeah, you need to go to this link, my name, kwokleongtang.net, and then looking for the workshop sections, and then you will see there's a protected practical GenAI for East Asian libraries. And then you can use the password U of T 2025. Everyone can access this website? Okay. So before we go back to what we left before the lunch, and I would like to introduce this book to you. Because during the lunch, I had the discussions with multiple friends here, and then I found out one thing when we talk about the tools and techniques of using AI, we may also need to talk about our attitude toward AIs. And this book, I would say that I'm more stand with the author's attitude and his perspective. Is written by Ian Monick, Professor Ian Monick of UPenn. And to give one sentence of this book is he has one attitude is bring AI to the table. So no matter what you do today, bring AI to the table. When you're planning a travel, when you do your own research, when you try to organize a conference, try to bring AI to the table. It's not saying that AI will help you to finish all the work, but it can do something that in the past that we may need to spend a lot of time to do. One example from the book is he raised an example, a cheese factory wanted to have a slogan on their advertisement. And then you can think about, we all had that kind of experience, try to think a slogan for a poster of an event, or think of a slogan for some kind of initiative that we organize. And usually 10 people stay in a room for 1 hour. We only have like 5 candidates of the slogan, and then we need to have another meeting to have it. But now, if you give the situation, the factory store, I want a slogan, and even give the style of the slogan, generate 50 candidates for it, then you will have 50 candidates immediately for the slogan. I'm not saying that you pick one from the 50, but you have 50 candidates. You can do the refinement. You can refine. You can try to think about like how to perfect those slogan candidates. Use a very popular saying like 80 and 20, right? There's a kind of like a formula or saying that spend 80% of your time to finish, right? I kind of.
It is 20% of the work produces 80%.
Yeah, 20% of the work produces 80% of the outcome. But at the same time, the last 20% is usually the most difficult part, right? Most of you have the experience of writing dissertation? No? Article? Yeah, you have experience of writing article, right? The last 20%, that means you get the perfect situation of the last 20% is usually the most difficult part, because you never get satisfaction from that last 20%. Right? But the 80%, if you have a draft, then you can make that 20% even easier for you, right? There are two difficult parts. One is to starting getting the first 100 words, and then the finalization of the article, right? Once you have the draft, then you can easily perfect it. Not easily, but easier than you just write the whole things. At least that's my experience of my dissertation. That's why I'm always a deadline fighter. Yes, sorry. You have one copy online. Yeah, yeah. So. What? 99 holes on it? Okay. Yeah, so that means I think this book already is kind of like a popular reader in business school. So, but yeah, it's a very good reading. So I suggest you can read this book to see some. I would not say it's completely embrace this AI age, but it's kind of like a positive attitude to how we can make use of the AI tools. Okay, so back to our situation here. So what we are going to do in the afternoon is we will try to, hey, where is it? We'll try to work with some existing tools. Okay, no problem. U, capital letter U, and then off, and then capital letter T, 2025. Okay. So this link does not work, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe everyone just Google AI Studio. Yeah, the first one, this one, and then you can click on it. Because I already logged in, so you can see I have an interface of like this, and please log into this. Does it work? Okay, so the first thing I will do, you please don't do it with me, because there will be many people talking, so just see what I'm going to do. I will choose this stream real time, okay? You don't need to do it with me, and I'm quite sure that in the first run, you may not get it successful. I did not get it successful this morning, but right now, I'll share my screen, and then share the whole screen.
Okay, I understand that you want to share the whole screen. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, I would like to do something with Excel.
Okay, you would like to do something with Excel. What exactly would you like to do with it?
I would like to do some data cleaning.
Okay, you would like to do some data cleaning. Can you tell me more about the specific data you want to clean and what you want to achieve?
Can you see my Excel now? Can you see my screen?
I am not able to see your screen directly.
Okay,
I
maybe
apologize, but I cannot see your screen. Okay, I understand. You can share with me what you see in the Excel file, and I can help you.
Okay, we will start again. You see, as I said, you will not get it one for the first rank.
Okay, so you will not get one for the first rank. Is there a specific reason for that?
No, sorry. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen. It appears to be an Excel spreadsheet.
Yes. Can you tell me what do you see in column C?
Okay, in column C, I see different departments or groups of people, including library staff, faculty, and students. Is there anything specific you would like me to look for in that column?
Yes, I would like to standardize some of the terms here. You can see EAL, it represents East Asian Library. And also there are like Department of East Asian Studies and different kind of terms for the same institutions. Can you provide some insight how I can standardize them?
Certainly, I see that you have a column with various departments and groups like East Asian Library, Department of East Asian Studies, and Royal Ontario Museum Libraries. To standardize this, you could create a controlled vocabulary, or a set of terms to use consistently. For example, you could choose to always use East Asian Library rather than the abbreviation EAL. Would you like me to give more examples?
Yes.
Okay, so another example could be using Department of East Asian Studies instead of Department of East Asian Studies, or just East Asian Studies. You could create a list that is just one term for each institution and use it as a reference to standardize. Would you like me to suggest any other strategies?
Yes.
Okay, another approach could be to use drop-down menus for data entry in this column. This will ensure people are selecting from a pre-approved list of terms, preventing inconsistencies in the data entered. Would you like me to suggest other strategies?
No, let's stop this.
Okay, we can stop there. Is there anything else I can help you with regarding the spreadsheet?
I would like to stop this run.
Okay, we can stop this run. Is there anything else you would like to discuss or any other questions I can answer?
That's it. Fine for the moment.
Understood. If you need anything else, feel free to ask.
So, you may see, this is exactly this morning when I show you the video, Java, right? That's Java's, that's the AI agents for it. Now you may see, what is the importance here? The importance is you have a tutor for anything you would like to do on your machine. For example, because it has a limit, so because it's free, everyone can use it. You can use it on your machine, so it's free. But there are two limitations. One is it has a limit. To a certain time, your conversation cannot last forever. To a certain point, it will stop. And then the second is it will not keep the record. So every single time you use this, it will start again. But what I want to show, it does not start. Okay, you don't know what is this, right? You are opening a new, completely new. Did anyone use this before? No. Okay, that's my purpose. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. It shows a program called KNIME Analytics Platform.
Do you know how to use this platform?
I do not know how to use this platform. I can only see what is displayed on your screen.
So can you give me some instruction if I want to use this platform?
I am not able to give you instructions on how to use this platform. I do not have the ability to access information about how to use it, nor can I use it myself.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's so far.
Okay, sounds good. Let me know if you need any more help.
So it seems like it may not be as we expect that it can do all the tools, right? But to many tools, for example, Excel, why you can see I start with Excel. It can do Excel very good, and it can do OpenRefine very good, because those software, they exist for a long time, very popular, so it can do, it can give you instruction very good. But for this software called Lime, and it seems it does not have enough training data, so it does not do a very good job. What happened under the hood, you can see this conversation is actually, when I share the screen with it, it only takes the last few seconds during our conversation. So it's not really keep looking at the, it's not keep looking at my screen. Actually, it's taking short clips from the recording and then try to understand the recording. Gemini is a multi-model. That means it can take audio, it can take video, and it can take image into it. So that's why it has the function like this. That's why you can see if you use, for example, anyone here use OpenRefine? Okay, only one. So most of you use Excel, right? So you may not need it because you are an expert of it. But once you have a software that you don't know how to start, you don't know how to do anything with it, maybe this is a good tutorial. This is a good tutor to help you to do, to teach you how to do it. But this is just a beginning, I would say. This is just a beginning, because once you can think of, this is the Google AI Studio. Google AI Studio itself is an application help developers to develop their own tools. So that's why I would like to show some of the functions in here that you can use. First, you see here is a create POM. Right? You can see here is a create POM. Create POM actually is a page that you can try with anything you want to try. For example, all the use cases in this morning, you can try it within here, and then you can try different models. It has different model, and also it tells you the price. You don't need to care about the price right now, but you can see there are different models and try to run it with different models. One use case I did not mention, anyone here work with a lot of images and need to catalog images? Okay, so when you catalog images, do you need to get the objects out of the images? Or how do you write the metadata or description of the image? Sorry? Okay, so use existing data, right? Okay, but let's say if that's about it. But okay, then I may ask a question. Can your catalog search, if I, for example, if I have a collections of image is from the old city of, for example, Osaka, and then I want to find out all the stele, that's the stone stele that in the image. Is it any possible way you can do it? Okay. Yeah, so can you think of a way that you can do it with the existing tools that we all, you may always use every day that involving AI? Sorry? Yes, that is one. Apple Intelligence, that is one. And also Google Images, Google Photos. Do you use Google Photos? Right? Google Photos now provide. But maybe for that involving a lot of image searching. But back to the library settings, if I would like to have a description of every image, right? Now there is a way to do is, let me try to, city of Osaka. Then I may have an image. No, okay, so I just saved the image. Where's my desktop? Desktop, okay, desktop. I just saved the image, and then I can come here. I can upload a file. Okay, then I would say, can you write a description of the image? So you have a description of the image, and then can you list all the objects that are shown in the image? Then you have all the objects in the image. I'm not working at library. I don't know, is this useful to, for example, for you to create metadata? If you have, like, for example, I have a collection of image. I don't want to do vector search. I don't want to do image search. But I would like to have some metadata to help people to get the information of the image, so then it can get a lot of objects from the image. In the past, we need to train a model to detect the objects in the image, but now you can do this with it. And also with the video, with the audio file, you can do the same thing, and that may help you to create metadata. Another thing is, you may already use it, and I think the founder of Seneca already gave a speech here. I think a lot of you are interested in OCR, right? You can upload a PDF. Well, I would not say all multi-page PDF, but you can upload an image at here, and then ask it to extract all the text. Then it can help you to OCR all the text from it. But now I think you have many options for simple OCR, but it may not be easy to do with those books in that room, right? That's the rare books, because especially when they have their own layout, every book is different. So that's why we need Seneca. So we also have learn a lot from Seneca, from their OCR technologies. Okay, so far so good. Okay, then you can see this is create POM, and I just tried the stream real time. You see how I stream with it. Starter apps, this is more to work with as a developers. Tune a model, that is, you can use your own data to train a model. This is quite advanced, I would say, that we need quite a lot of time to explain this. But I will show one thing, that is, I'm working with two librarians at Harvard. this. So last year, when I attend SEAL meeting, I had two items that people are really interested in. One is the LC subject headings, LC subject headings recommendation. So help cataloger to get recommendation from information provided with the LC subject headings. And other item people really like is romanization of Korean and Japanese. For Chinese, I would say it's easier. I did not understand that before I went to the conference. And then for Japanese, it's quite difficult. I found out that, wow, it's not easy. The reason is that if I just copy this, and then I go to my Gemini, I just start an easy one, and then I would say, romanize the following sentence. So it gives me a romanization, right? As a researcher, that's enough for me because I really don't need the style. However, to Japanese study librarians, this may not work, right? Because that is not following the LC style. I don't know LC style is that important until last year. And then so, at the very beginning, I thought it may not be that difficult. We may train a model to see the results. And I tried a couple times. It did not work it did not work very well, I would say. So then I tried with this. What this is I create a prompt. In the prompt field, I create a prompt, but I use a lot of examples. I asked a librarian at Harvard to download, we download almost 10,000 romanizations of title and their romanization. And then I put 500 as example here. So you will see that there are two columns here. One is the input column. That is what I will input to it. And this is the output column, is what I expect the LLM do it for me. So transform from the input to the output. These are all the examples, okay? This part, all the example. This is test your prompt. So I give 499 examples to it, what we call the field shot prompting. And then now, I have 4 that I will run it. Okay, it does not work because the model I picked is I use Gemini 2.0 Flash. This is not the best model to do it. If I pick the Gemini 1.5. Still not good. It's not doing the job correctly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. I hope the next round it can run. Okay. Now, I need to pick it correctly this time. It seems I have some connection problem here. Okay, no, it does not allow me to do anything. So what I want to show you is after 500 examples, even I don't change the model, it can provide me with quite good results if I do it at home. Maybe it is not doing it correctly right here. No content, no content, no content. Can I change it? Okay. Let's see if I can run it because I have nothing here. Okay. Okay. Sorry if you just see, but I think for those who can evaluate it, you don't need to see the Japanese original text of it. So does it do a good job? Missing one space. Still missing one space. Okay, how about cataloger? You okay? But most of it still okay, right? Reasonable. After you do the perfect, like do the refinement, then that's workable, right? Yeah. So this is another way to do it. But I will for this kind of task, I will still go into fine-tuning a model. That will be the direction that I work. Yes. Yes. Yes, this is a very good question. So there's two ways to do it. Anyone here is working with law library or law document? If you know that law documents, they have what they call the Blue Book citation method, right? So it's a special citation style for the law case. I saw some law librarians, they use law studies librarians, they give instructions by taking the Blue Book style to give to it. And then I would say the approach I am here is I'm not giving any instruction. What I'm doing here is I give, this is A, this is B. What I want you to do is you understand it yourself, transform A to B. And I think that is better. This is my approach. Maybe I'm wrong because I did not really do very detailed studies of these two approaches. But my approach, I always don't give instructions to the model, to the model. Like you should capitalize this, you should keep a space behind this. Because from my perspective, that is not how the machine understanding things. You give too many rules, it may mess up. But if I just ask it, A, B, find the pattern, and then do the job for me, then it seems to have better results. Okay, but I would move on to try to see if we can train a model which can be used, or fine-tune a model which can be used. That's why we download a lot of data. But again, it's, I'm not a librarian. I don't know that the librarian who downloaded this data, they said that, oh, in fact, there are a lot of the examples are not following the LC standard. Yeah, and I was like, okay, then where can we get the best LC standard examples? Go to the LC. So maybe I will request them to see if they are working in this direction also. Hmm? That will be a very interesting moment. Like, will they do the things by themselves, or will they adopt AI? Yes, please.
One more thing. I saw that number 3 one, the 3, that one does not align. Is that?
Yeah, I think there's a problem because this is not, I cannot see 2025. That,
4 are correct, 3 is completely different.
yeah, so this is inconsistent. That always happens so therefore, we still need the human beings to be the last checker of all this, to do the evaluation for all this. You see, this one is still keep running. So because the contexts are too much, so you can, I did not try it, maybe you can try to use the notebook LM. Not using this one, use the notebook LM to provide a lot of examples. At the same time, also provide the regulation book, both. And then ask the notebook LM to see, hey, I give you this, and then can you transform? I give you this, can you transform into this, or transliterate into this? Then you can do the experiment. Actually, there are a lot of experiments you can do with it, okay? So, any questions so far? Oh, okay. Then, okay, the next on our on our outline is something I built. So far you can see, you can use the chatbot to do things with LLM, right? You can do, for example, this, transforming the Japanese into Romanization. You can do translation. I did not show any name entity recognition, NER cases here. I will show tomorrow. But any of you need to do NER, name entity recognition. For example, what I'm working with some historian on some documents. They want to build a catalog of those documents. So I suggest that we can use AI to do it. How we do it is we have all the document already OCR and get into one document as one file. And then I build a workflow, then sending in the documents into the LLM and ask the LLM to extract information we want, including the patient's name, the people name, and organization name, and keywords. All this, then we can turn it into a catalog. So that is name entity extraction. So for the next is, I would like to show you how so far what we have done is we use a chatbot to give a question or give a prompt to the chatbot and then get the result, right? But if, for example, if you have the same task that you need to do 100 times, then what you don't want to copy and paste to do it 100 times. So next is I will show you that how you can do it massively. What we will do is we will get an API key for Gemini, which is free in this case, and then I will show you how to use the Google spreadsheet to with extension I wrote that can do something massively. So can you see here? You have the get API key. When you click it, Okay, I will delete this one. You may see the create API key. Can you see the create API key, or you already create the API key? You may not have the same as me because I'm using something, but can you see create API key? Yeah, and then when you click the create API key, so you have a key here. Copy the key, paste it somewhere. Paste it somewhere. When you close it, it won't appear anymore. Okay, so paste it somewhere, paste it in a notebook or okay, everything. Anyone have any problem so far? No? Okay. So now go back to our page. Then you will see this guy. Please open this guy in a new tab. So I will open it in a new tab. Okay, so this is another guy. In the future, if you still want to use this method, but you don't, you can always go back here to with the instruction. But I'm not going to with the instruction with you. We just go direct into how to use it. So you will see that I have two options here. One is OpenAI. So if you use OpenAI models like GPTs and all other and all compatible model, you use this one, but we are going to use Gemini. So please click this, and then you will see this. Can you get into the same page, right? Right? And then now you can click use template. Okay, the first thing I will do is I will rename it. I will rename the template. So far, you should have the name like template, Gemini calling, API calling sheet, right? Am I correct? I will get rid of it. I will say AI experiment. So far, so good. Okay, so can you see Gemini here? Next to help. When you create a spreadsheet, you won't have this because this spreadsheet I already add an add-on that I create. So that's why you can see that. Now, if you click Gemini, and then can you see config API? Okay, the next step is very dangerous. When you click it, it asks you for authorization. You can click OK, and then it will ask me which account I will use. I will use this one. Oh, you see, it's very dangerous because Kotlin 10 is going to steal all your information. No, that's not the case. The spreadsheet is in your account. All the script is in your account. I will show you the script. So I'm not going to steal anything from you, and I even don't know who is using my spreadsheet. Maybe I can see it, but so far I don't know where to see it. Now you can click Advanced, or if you really don't have worry about it, you can back to the reality or back to safety, and then but if you click Advanced, and then you can see go to calling API, click this one, unsafe. It keeps saying that it's not safe, it's not safe. And then now allow. Once this open, it works. Okay, so far so good. Can you all get into this? Okay, so this is the instruction table. I will go to sheet 1. Okay, so you have the API key, right? You have the API key, you just paste your API key in here. So far, so good. Okay. Now, go back to this page. Okay, for those who don't understand Chinese, who don't read classical Chinese, that's fine. Don't be panic, okay? Nothing need to be worried because we are in an AI age. So you will see the power of it. So now I have some text here. You may say, what is it, right? Even you are Chinese, you may not be able to read it. That's fine. Copy it. Okay, this is a difficult step. You may be an expert, you may have more information than me. Now I need to paste it into different rows of it. Can I just paste it? I mean, I need to paste it here. Let me see. Okay, it does not work. Oh, it works. So I paste it all in the column A. Okay. I still need to provide you some information about all this text. This is from the veritable record from Ming Dynasty. Okay, that's my research documents in the past. So they record what happened on a certain day during the Ming Dynasty. So you have all this, right? And then for those who don't read this text, maybe the first task we can do is translate them into something that you can understand. Okay, so what I will do is I go to the system POM. It pastes here. I delete it. System POM here. Right, I delete it. Okay, now I use the POM, translate the content from English, from classical Chinese into any language you want. I will just type English here. If you want to do Japanese, Korean, be my guest. And then only return the translation. So far, so good? Okay, content column is column A. Then I can type A here. Response column, I want the response be column B. Type B here. This is, I tried to get it looks better. So do this. Okay, so content column, column A, response column, column B. And then the temperature. You may ask me, hey, what is the temperature? The higher the temperature, the more creative the model is. So that is the temperature. That means if you want a more creative, more crazier response, then you can have higher temperature. But if you want to have like a more like a what is that, focus here, but I would say more maybe conservative answer, then not conservative in political sense, then you can have a lower temperature. I will just keep it 0.5. Okay, so far so good. Any questions, problem? Now you can process rows. Do you get the result? Then you need to use the Gemini sheet. Yeah, you can use it, the Gemini sheet. Because if you use OpenAI, that will call the OpenAI model, not the Gemini model. Anyone get the results? Others?
Although for this one, the first
Yeah, the first one is missing, right?
we have to paste the content into
The second one, yeah.
forward, and then everything will get transformed.
Yeah. Do you get the results? No, you did not get the results?
I got it.
Yeah. Make sure that if you see this part as OpenAI, then you use the OpenAI sheet, right? If I go back here, you can see I have one called OpenAI, one is Gemini. We are using Gemini API key, so we need to use the Gemini sheet instead of OpenAI sheet. Does it work? No, it's not working. Oh, I see. The reason is no problem, no problem. Yes. Also, yeah, maybe I show it here. I think a lot of. So what I did, I think that's my problem because the last step I did not do it well. So if you cannot get it, I will show it again. First, you open this sheet 1 here, not the instruction, sheet 1, okay, sheet 1. And then I copy all this 5 sentence, maybe 6, 7 sentence, and then I paste it. You can paste it starting from the row, the second row. I forgot about my own code. Then I put it in the second row, and then to the 7th row, and then now in this system poem, you can type translate the content from classical Chinese into English, only return the translation. And then pick the Gemini poll version, and then, okay, process row. Is it better this time? Okay, the whole idea behind all this is we have some text we need to process, right? And there are different rows of text, right? And then each row of text, I need to process them. The idea is I don't want to copy and paste them into the checkbox. And then I paste it in this Google Sheet in column A. And then I input the API key, I choose the model, I tell the machine what I want it to do. I want it to translate the content. What content? Because I already tell it the content is from content A, the A column. Translate the content from classical Chinese into English. Only return the translation. If I don't have the last sentence, you know they are very talkative. They not only tell you the translation, they also tell you why they translate in that way. So I don't want that. I only want the translation. And then, so once I get all this and then I process, so you can see, actually this is, each sentence is the processing of it. Can you get the result? Okay, by the same token, now, I still keep this A, I still keep this, I don't want, I will change this B to C because I will do another task. Now I want to do a name, I would say extract all official title from the content split, not split, use comma to separate multiple titles. Okay, by the same token, now I have a new task for the LLM, but still using the same content. But this time, I want the response to appear in column C. Okay, error because I already cannot read property, undefined reading parts. So, for those who can evaluate it, at least it got some titles. May not all of them are correct, but it extracts some titles from the text, okay? So you can think of any task you want to process with this text. Or you may have other content that you are working on. This is really your imagination, how you can use it. But the whole idea of these tools is you can process the content in a massive way through API. And so far, the API key you generate, they have a free tier. You can use it within that free tier. I think my code already kind of like the free tier, that means you can do a certain amount of requests within 1 minute and within a certain period of time. I think my code already include that limit in it. So it should not reach the limit of the free tier. and you also did not pay your credit card for Google, so even exceed the limit, it will just say you reached the limit. They will not charge you, okay? So this is one way you can do something that you want to do with with LLM in a massive way. But I always suggest you can start with the, sorry, where's my Google Studio? Okay, I lost it, no. You can start with the create prompt part. You can do the experiment with different model here to get the best result with the temperature. And then you can start the bulky part with the Google spreadsheet that you test the prompt in here. Okay. So far, any questions, problems? Any questions? No questions? Okay. So, if you have questions, remember to ask. Then we will jump into the next part, which is you are going to build your own chatbot. So I mentioned that we will use one software. It's called Dify. You can go back to this page, and then you can see there's please create a new account at Dify. And if I click this, it will bring you to this page. Okay, before I need to do an introduction of Dify. This is a new startup. They built this workflow no-code platform for building AI chatbots, AI workflow, and AI agents. Their headquarters is in California, but also a lot of people consider this as a Chinese company because once we go into the interface, you will find they have a lot of, you can connect to a lot of Chinese internet service and use Chinese model. The same, like the similar or the alternative of this software, there is one called NAN. So this is a similar software, NAN. I will use this in tomorrow's workshop, but we will use Dify today. There are a couple of reasons I will explain that. And I can tell you there are at least 20 or 30 very popular platforms, all this workflow platform for building AI tools right now. So, so you can see from this page, you can click Get Start. And then it will ask you for an email. And then you can type your email here. You don't need to start with GitHub or you don't need to start with Google. You can just type your email, which you want to use for it, and it will send you a number, for example. I just type it. And then continue with code. Then a code is sent to my email. Then you can just put your code in it. Can you get to this page? You may not have all this checkbox workflows, anything. This is already I built. So far, so good. Okay, now let's get familiar with this. You can see, okay, there are all this. I already built some workflows, agents. This is an experiment we did with CVDB to see if we can use AI to get some information from CVDB. And then, yeah, there's a LCSH suggestions system. This one failed, so I won't go into it. So all your work will be shown here once you build something. We will start. You can create from blank. You can create from template. If we click create from template, then you will see there already a lot of workflow that built by others, right? You can also see that Notebook LM by Define.ai. So someone already, the defined AI already make a replica of Notebook LM. And then you can see there are a lot of like stock news, sentiment analysis, different kind of email assistant workflow, question classifiers and knowledge base. So you can use others' template to in your own workflow to do your work. But we will just start from blank. So you can click create from blank. In here, you will see there are a couple of things. First is chatbot. So that will build a very simple chatbot. And then agent. Agent is a new trend in workflow. A lot of people, as if you are familiar with the AI field, you know there is an expert called Angel Ng. Some people pronounce his name as Angel Ng. He recently had a lot of talk about agents, and he considers agentic workflow will be the future of AI. And then you can also just create text generator and the check flow. And this one is where the most complicated one is workflow. You can do different steps with AI. But what we are going to do right now is we are just going to build a chatbot. So you can say chatbot, and then you can have like application name. I would say what we are going to build is we will download, if you remember, we use a file, which is an MD file this morning, the markdown file that we import into the Notebook LM. We will use that as a knowledge base to build a chatbot, which may be useful to the students at University of Toronto when they need something. Okay, so I will just say this is a U of T library chatbot. And description, you can add anything to it. Remember, we just choose chatbots at this moment, and then you can click create. So far, so good. Okay, this is the interface. This is the interface. The interface is how you can give orders to your chatbot. We have instructions. That is the page that you give a persona to your chatbot. Let's think about it's just a human being. Now you give a persona to the chatbot, and that will be something that you need to create. For example, you can tell your chatbot, you are an expert in East Asian studies, or or maybe you are a librarian in East Asian studies, and your task is to provide resources to students based on your knowledge base. Okay, so you see why I'm saying this in a very loose way is because we don't really need to create a prompt by ourselves. Why? No. Already there is not a good idea. Already there is overthinking. Already there is someone already created for you, right? That's the overthinking. Now start to think in the AI age. You remember the book, The Code Intelligence? I said there is one sentence from the book that you need to remember. Always bring AI to the table. You are not going to draft your prompt. Ask AI to draft your prompt. Okay? So, how to bring AI to the table is I go back to Gemini. Or the better way you do is you use Copilot because it's paid by U of T, and then it has better performance. And then go to Gemini or the Copilot to tell it you need a prompt. And the prompt is for a chatbot you are going to build, right? And then the chatbot will be used in that way. Then please create a prompt for me. Or create a system prompt, which is even better. Create a system prompt for me, which I will use for my chatbot that I built. And here is how I will use my chatbot, or how the chatbot will be used. This is your expertise come in. What do you think you need to have the chatbots do as a librarian or as a reference recommender? Yes, but if it gives you a prompt that that you can use in a chatbot, that the chatbot can generate something, right? So in this case, did anyone get the prompt? No, you did not get the prompt. It cannot create system prompt for you? Okay, let me try. Oh, sorry? Oh, don't touch that part. We are not yet in that part. Yeah. So for the language you are not sure, that's the best time for AI. Because in the past, I had this discussion during the lunchtime. When we need to write something, especially I am not a native speaker in English. When I need to write something in English, I always don't have the confidence to start the first paragraph. But just think about that's your coworker, and you don't need to care about its feeling. Is real on you? Do you think that does my coworker think I'm a loser? I even cannot create a prompt? No, just try anything with it. Try to say it. Yeah, I'm building a chatbot. Can you create a prompt for me? Right? Just start with that. Or even, you know, what we always do when we have very complicated tasks is we have a prompt from from model A, let's say ChatGPT, and then we get a prompt to model B, let's say Code, and then say, hey, this is a prompt I got. Evaluate the prompt. Tell me what will be the problem of that prompt. And then it will give you improve the prompt. So that means ask to LLM to evaluate themselves. But of course, make sure you have the ability to evaluate at the end to find out which one is better. Okay? So can you get a prompt? Does it work? Anyone want to share your prompt?
I'm not sure whether this is right or not. It come up with who I am, what I want, can do, how I talk, examples of what I would say, what I cannot do. Is it considered as a prompt?
Yes, it also considered as a prompt. Okay. Yeah, it also considered as a prompt. Any other prompt? No. Anyway, so you have your own prompt, copy your prompt, and then put it into, where's my Dify? Okay, my Dify is here. Put it into the instruction. Just paste it in the instruction. Okay, I will create my own prompt. I am building a chatbot for recommending resources to readers from University of Toronto. You create a prompt for me. For Mr. Okay, I copy this. I paste it here. Now, okay. You can see here, this part, is it ChatGPT? Is it GPT 4.0 mini, right? So when you click this, then you will see some familiar temperature. It asks it again. So temperature is a word that always comes out when it has and then so if you kick this down, you will see there are some models from ChatGPT. You may not have the model from DeepSeek. You only have model from OpenAI, right? So why I use this, why I use Dify is the first 200 message are free. So you can use the first 200 message. It's good for teaching purpose. So now you can see everything is good. then maybe at this moment, you click publish and update. So far, so good. What time? Sorry, I completely forget what. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So now you can try with your own chatbot to ask question to see what does it give you good results. You can try to ask question like, for example, Japanese studies. You can ask question about what kind of, if I want to study, let's say, Okinawa in 18th century, what kind of database I can use, right? Just try your expertise. Or if you are not in East Asian studies, you can just ask, I want to study the Korean immigrant communities in Toronto. What resources I can use? Does it work? Does it provide you with good results? No. Very superficial, very general result, right? Or even not good result. Oh, you have to ask question here. Sorry, you have to ask question here. Talk to bot. Does it work? Oh, very generic solution. Yep. Okay, so now you can see knowledge, right? So click knowledge. You don't have this one. This one is for another chatbot. And then you can create knowledge. So from here, you can see you have at least 3 options: import from file, sync from Notions, sync from website, right? So go back to the teaching material page and go back to the section of Notebook LM, which is retrieval augment generation, and this URL. And then, this is the trick. How can I download this file? Let me see. So now, if you just change this part, sorry about this, this could be a little bit. You can change this part from raw GitHub, change it to github.com. Sorry. Let's say, okay, sorry. You open this, when you open this link, you open this page, and then you right-click it, you can just save as. And then you can save your file to the desktop. So I save it on the desktop, and then I go back to Dify. I import the file, and then I can upload the file, and then I click next. Can you come to this page? Okay, so this is how you can how large each chunk will be. We will just keep all this default except change the high quality because as I am not sure the high quality.
This one we're using the chatbot option, right?
Yes. So no, this one is the knowledge.
We were creating from blank and we were using chatbot or
No, we are using knowledge, not the studio.
I see.
Okay, we keep the high quality. And then for this part, we use text embedding free large. And here, for this part, the last here, we use the hybrid search. Hybrid search, that means it search both the full text and also search the vector. I did not explain what vector is, but vector is a way that you can find out the keywords that with the meaning of the word that you are searching. I will explain it a little bit if we have time. And then, so far, then you can just click Save. And then we may wait for it. So you see 0%. Okay, I get it done. Embedding complete. Do you get the same results? Right, okay. Then go to document. And you can see the big document is divided into small chunks, okay? So now we can go back to Studio and then find out the checkbox you use. And can you see the context? This part, the context. And then click Add. Then you should see the UOT guide, or maybe you have different name, but you should only have one file. Then you can click the file and then add. So far, so good. And then again, click Publish, Update. So far, so good. Any questions? No? Now you can check again with it. You can try to check with it again to see if you get better results. With the same questions that you previously checked. Can you get any good results?
Where does that part?
Hmm?
Where does that part?
Oh, that part we created with the Gemini or Copilot when we create the prompt. Okay, in my case, I ask a question. Can you suggest resources if I want to study 18th century Japan? And then it gives me books. Look for specific books. If I click the link, it takes me to the university library books, and especially this one. Yeah, it's immigrant. And then search for journal article. This one does not work because the link. And then reference material, this one does not work. This is not the problem of the AI. This is my problem. If you remember, I scraped the website, right? If you go to the research website, you will find out all the links looks like this. Resources, blah, 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 blah. Because that part is cut off the university library domain and just keep this part, right? And okay, this may So, okay, no, not this one. Not this page, actually. Okay, not this page. Yeah, sorry, this one. So if you go to the research guide, hey, is it this one? No, resources. Okay, if you go to the research guide, if I just go into one of it, not this one, for search books, it only keeps, you can see this part of here, it only keeps the resources and search books. It does not have the library utoronto.ca part. I did not do the data cleaning. That's my bad. If you know that rubbish in, rubbish out, this is the situation. So if you want to have a better knowledge base, remember to do the data cleaning. So, right, and then also Internet Resources Research Guide. And again, it gives me the research guide of Japanese studies, but without the first part. So I need to, if I want to do it better, I need to fix the problem with all the links. For example, if I want to ask, like, if you can give me resources on Canadian Japanese. Are those valid books? I'm not sure because are these valid books for Japanese studies? I think it's from the, so if you come down here, you can see which part, okay, I think it's valid because it gets citations from this few chunks, and then it generates something like this, okay? So this is definitely an unpolished chatbot. I just want to show you that actually it's very easy to build a chatbot. And then now if you even want to say, you can have options to run apps and then to embed into sites. So you build a chatbot and then you can embed it to the library site. Then people can use it there. Or you just, for example, have a link and then I send the link to someone, then I can start to use the chatbot here. They provide you a link when you click, you can also do it on from here, run apps, then you can have this. Then you need to pay. You know, always branding is something you need to pay for it, right? So it really depends when what is fulfilled your expectation, but branding is always need money for that part. But I just want to show you how easy you can build a chatbot based on own knowledge. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so the last part, the library subjects, the LC subject headings. Any of you are cataloger here? Cataloger. Okay, so if I said anything wrong, please correct me immediately. I'm not a cataloger. Okay. So the subject headings recommendation. Last year during the SEAL, a lot of people are interested in it. So I will present again this year at SEAL, but this can be considered as a preview of it, and we will try to see some of my solutions. I hope that I also will improve my solution. First, I hope you to help me to understand, I understand correctly about the task. When you do the subject headings, you need to first understand what that book is, right? How you understand it, you read some part of the books, you read the content, you may have abstract from the publisher, you may have related information of it, right? Am I correct? Okay, so let's do it in this way. I will go back to Gemini. You don't need to do it with me, but also if you want to try, you can try it. What I'm going to do is, okay, I just go to the LC catalog. I'm going to search a book. Okay, this one. So this book is called The Shape of Data in Digital Humanities, right? And then I have a summary, I have a content here, okay? So catalogers, do you base this information at least, I'm not saying this is all, but at least to determine what subject headings you will use? No? Okay, so because I need to make sure that I understand the process correctly. If not, so my understanding is you need to read the books, right? And then through your human determination to think which subject heading is fit to it. So my copy of this workflow is I have the summary, I have the content, I just copy it, and then I go to I go to the Gemini, and then you can see where's my, oh, there are too many. I may close some of them, and then to make sure that, close it. Where's my Gemini? Okay, Gemini is here. So I would say based on the information provided, please provide below. Please suggest 5 LCSH, and then I just paste the information I got from the site, the LC catalog, and then I click it. Okay? So you can see I have 5 subject headings. Digital humanities, digital mining, information modeling, text processing, and semantics. So if I go back, I can see which one I hit. I hit the digital humanities research methodology, not completely hit, but hit digital humanities. And the information and storage retrieval system, humanities, right? Okay, so a lot of librarians last year, they said that, yeah, you can provide keywords. It's not subject headings, right? Because subject headings themselves, they are control dictionary. My understanding is LC control it. So they can make revisions on the subject headings. They can add new subject headings to it. They can take away some subject headings, or they can change the words in subject headings, right? That's my understanding. Am I correct? Okay. So for control dictionary, that means something that it keeps updating, it keeps changing, is living, is alive, right? So this is a difficult part for LLM, because LLM was trained based on the data that at a specific of time, right? So it cannot provide you with something that keep changing first. Second, the most difficult part is something that is hard-coded, which means digital humanities dash research dash methodology. This is a hard-coded thing. If I click this one, then you can see all these are subject headings, right? And then they are kind of hard-coded. So these are 2 difficult parts. One is it keeps changing. Second is controlled. And you cannot, even like a minor difference can be a quick difference, or even that subject headings may not exist. Okay, so far this is my understanding. So I discussed with some other librarians. From very beginning, their solutions, they consider we can fine-tune a model with like all this book in it, and then with the subject headings as output, we can fine-tune it. I thought about that, and I don't think that is a good solution. The reason is that first, even we fine-tune it, we still will get very random result, which may not fit, may not be the correct dictionary, the terms from the control dictionary. This is the first reason. Second is, from my perspective, I may be wrong, but you can let me know. The subject headings itself, when you pick the subject headings, is a very subjective choice by the librarians. Am I correct? So librarian A here may pick this subject headings, but librarian in another library, they can pick another subject headings, right? So there's no right or wrong for this task. From my understanding, what we need is we have recommendation first, and the recommendation have some convenience to help you to get to the site of the LC to see something else. I would acknowledge Jocelyn Zoom's suggestions on this. She suggests this website for me. You should be very familiar with it. It's the data service from Library of Congress, and there is one subject headings here, right? If I search a subject headings, digital humanities, and then I can click go. And it will show me, yes, there is a digital humanities subject headings. If I click into it, I can see the source of work, the books other librarians consider should be under these subject headings. My question for you, do you think this is convenient, or will it be part of your process to see what other books considered as part of these subject headings? Right? Okay. So the solutions I suggest, also I already wrote it down in an article published in SEAL. I'm one of the co-authors. I suggest that the whole process, we should not change a model for it. What we need is, we have the LLM to provide recommendation based on the information. The information including summary, descriptions, content, author, title, and anything. You can even take a picture of it, okay? Based on all this information, provide recommendations. And I assume those recommendations, they're definitely not the exact word in the control dictionary. And then what next step is, we have a service. All those recommendation words can go into the service and then go to a website to check the service, to check those words, to find out is that word a correct or existing subject headings on this website. And if they are not, what are the closest subject headings from this website? And then we turn this result to the LLM and let the LLM pick those solutions from the result from the service, and also provide the link to this page. So far, it's very confusing. So, do you know, I have time. I already have kind of prototype product, but it's not open to all. The reason it's not open to all is I use a paid version from Harvard University, so it only open to Harvard University people to use this. But I will still try it. So you can see, I would say, suggest most relevant LC term for this book, and then it will ask me to provide the detail of the books, and then I will copy the same thing and paste it and enter it. So I built this API, which can get the terms from the LLM and then scrape the ID service website and then return the results. So now you can see what if we, the suggestion is digital humanities, humanities research, ontologies, humanity digital library, engineer models. 5 recommendations. And as the user, you can click on it. When I click the link, it immediately comes to this website. Okay? So then you make the decision. It's not the machine make the decision. It's the librarian, it's the cataloger make the decision. Should this be a possible word? Once you think that is a possible, is a suitable term, then you can come here. I already export the Mark 21 format of the 650 field. Then you can just copy it and paste it in your 60 field. So what do you think about this solution? This is the first time I show this solution to librarians. Or it's too confusing that you don't know what I'm doing. Yes. They are not authorized. They could be a lot of variants, right? That's my understanding. For example, if I have Chinese history, Ming Dynasty, right? 3066 to 1644. That subject headings, sometimes it may generate the year incorrectly. Then that is not the correct subject headings because that is not authorized, as you mentioned. So yes, it only provides you with the authorized headings. So can I know about, like, if there is not a authorized subject headings, what you will do? You will just add into it or create your own one? You will create your own one. You submitted a better one. Yes. Yeah, like poetry, and then there is a period or geographical location. Um, yeah, with different flow. Okay, so that does not mean that the authorized one, you will only use the authorized one. So you see, AI cannot help us to solve this problem at this moment. Yeah, honestly, actually, I'm not saying that this is for the final one. This is just like, because from what I heard is people want something to start with. So that's why I included link to the data service page to see other work. That's my understanding of the process. But it seems to me it has more involving human beings' decisions behind all this and institutional decisions on updating something new or taking away something old. Okay. Okay, so that means I need a lot of work to see anything I can improve. Yes.
I just play around with GenAI because in Hong Kong, bamboo scaffolding is very common for building construction, but there is no LC subject heading for it. When I was back in Hong Kong, then we create a local subject heading as bamboo scaffolding. So just now I asked, okay, what is the suggestion for bamboo scaffolding? Very politely, it told me that there is no such heading. But it has a good suggestion for me. Of course, you will have the 650 for scaffolding, and then it suggests me to another one is bamboo, then subdivision of industrial applications. I think that's interesting. Other than sort of you create your own, which we normally don't do it. So it gives me some sort of suggestion to bring in the bamboo as a medium in scaffolding. I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah, so I think this is a very good ending point actually is, you see, we have tools, right? But your expertise is still most important in this whole work. It's not like I create something like this, it can replace you, definitely not. When I create this, I was not going to replace any of the librarian. I just want to say, provide some kind of convenience. But okay, my questions, before you ask question, my question is, how useful this will be, or any suggestion I should improve this or this workflow. So originally the idea was to train a model to provide suggestion, and then I think that the validation could be more useful, and the reason is that everyone can build their own recommender. For this one, I built it in ChatGPT. If you know that ChatGPT, they have a function called GPTs, small GPT. I use that function to build this one. And I can, if I use the pay version, the public pay version, I can build one and everyone can use it. And originally, I was planning to try with you to build one in Dify, but I don't think that will be that useful for you at this moment. So what do you think, how I can improve this, and what is your suggestions? Okay, thank you. So, do you have questions for me?
I actually have a general question about recognition. So I know all the generative AI, all the artificial intelligence bots, when you're going through, if I upload a picture of myself and I try to do it, can you identify this person in this picture? So identity in AI is something that is totally disabled right now. I've tried in very advanced programs say, can you identify this person? Is it, whatever language, I'm not able to, or at this time we're not allowed to do that. Just some comments about identity in AI as that example, or where you see it going, or how will it eventually evolve to that degree?
Okay, first, if we go back, we are not talking about LLM, the large language model we are using. If we go back that in the last decade, facial recognition is something that really mature, right? So yesterday I came, I was in the airport. Now you travel, you may figure it out that when you land your flight, you no more need to show your passport because they take the picture in the first entrance, and then every time they need to check your ID, they use facial recognition again. So if someone has a data, for example, if you show an image of Lincoln, or maybe, I don't know, a very popular, maybe George Washington, right? Definitely, I think the model can recognize it. The reason that they did not give you the answer is the human being's decision. Can be decisions on commercial side, can be on legal side, can be something that really interesting that we don't expect. So sorry? Yeah. Yeah, so for Google Photo, right? They already can recognize face. The interesting part is they can recognize when I was a baby. If I upload an image, and they can distinguish my baby face with my daughter's baby face, which I, as a human beings, I always think that we are look quite close to each other. Then they will ask you who this person is, right? So I don't think it's on technical side, or from the technology's perspective, it could be something difficult. It's more on the side or the area that maybe legal consideration or maybe political consideration or other things. Okay, I should not give this example. Yep. Any other question? You don't need to use the large language model. I would suggest you can find one of the facial recognition model. There are a lot of open source, open weight facial recognition model. And then if you want them really doing a good job, you may need to do a little bit training, providing a little bit training, but I don't think it's necessary. Then you, for example, you may have a family photo album, and then you want to find out the same person, is it which photo it appears, then you can process the whole, pick all the photo in the you need to write some code, and then you process it, and then to first get out their face. Is there a person appear in this image? Can we see their face? Can we get their face out? And then they will group all the face they consider as one person. And then you can find out is that person appear. Yeah, there are other models. I think this is quite a mature technologies. There you can have a lot of example to do it, or even you can ask chatbot to ask it, this is what I need to do. Yeah, suggestions, and even ask it to write the code for you. And you can just run the code based on your own machine. You don't need to send anything out if that is something that you don't want to send out. Any other questions?
Since chatbot can be easily created by the library and embedded in the library website, do you think the library users would be more inclined to use the chatbots, or they are going to use ChatGPT or other AI on their own?
So first, I would say that the chatbot is based on the knowledge, based on the research guide, right? And the better the research guide, the better the knowledge base, provide better answer. You already test it with, like, you just go to Gemini and ask it, hey, I have this research, then can you provide me with resources? We had a lot of problem with hallucination. They may just generate some article that does not exist for those. And if you read the book, the Code Intelligence, it mentions several law cases. Some lawyers, they tried to cite law cases did not exist and generated by ChatGPT. So people, especially students and researchers, they want reliable sources, reliable citations, right? So if you have a knowledge base which is well created and keep updating and with detailed information, definitely I will go for that one, especially it's free, right? And so that, I would say that yes, yeah.
Okay, so there comes another question linked. Since the library chatbot is so useful, how much it is going to replace or augment librarians or library services?
I just had a conversation with your colleague here during the lunch about this. I think this is also kind of like an atmosphere. Last year, I went to the Silk conference, which was my second time at the Silk conference. I can sense that a lot of librarians have a feeling that will we be replaced by the AI? First, I would say the division of labor, not only in library, but almost in every part of the world, will change. That's for sure. Why I said the division of labor will change is not you are going to be replaced by someone, is definitely some of the tasks that can be easily handled by machine. Then if your work, most of your work time are in those areas, then that kind of work will decrease in the future. So you may need to do other work, right? Everyone like me, I may need to do other work. So by the same token, that means at the same time, we may have other work to do. For example, we may need to find out is that reliable for the resources the ChatGPT generate. I say this, I can expect some people may say, oh, now human beings become just a checker for AI or just evaluate the AI solution. But my thinking is that we may open some new fields that we did not have in the past, that we did not see it. Also, from our discussion, couple weeks ago, I was at AHA, American Historical Association. They also had a meeting about generative AI in history. And then one question came up is, will there be new research questions for when we have GenAI? Then thank you. So I raised an example that I raised a couple times already in different occasions is, think about literature studies. One very difficult task in literature studies so far is the audience reception. By audience reception is someone who read. For example, I have the Journey to the West, which has been very popular because a game called Back Myth Wukong. And so for that book, we read it now. Definitely our reception of that book could be completely different from people who read them 100 years ago, right? And we don't have any chance to understand 100 years ago how those people, they understand the book, right? But if you create a persona for your AI, you say that you were born in 1850 and now you're 30 years old, you only have the knowledge limited to this time. 1850, that means 1880. This is your knowledge limit. And you are educated person, and even you can say that you are a 进士 degree holder and you were born on certain places. And after give this persona to the ChatGPT and then ask it, now with this piece of text, tell me what do you think, right? A lot of people say, you're crazy. You're doing this for research, you're crazy. Yes, I'm crazy, but I'm not trying to do this to support my conclusion. This is the most important point. I emphasize many times in different occasions is use AI to support your research process, not the conclusion. Because the conclusion is the human being's decision, not the AI's decision. So I'm crazy, but I may be able to do some brainstorming because of this and to see some angles that we did not think of before, or even we may not be able to think of because of our knowledge limitations or any other things. So I would say that definitely I'm on a more positive side. I think there will be new tasks that did not exist before GenAI. That could be new questions, and then there will be shift in division of labor, and then will we be replaced? That really depends on, are we following the shift or are we going to stand at the same point? So yeah, this is my perspective.
Thank you so much to our instructor, Dr. Tung, for really fascinating and very insightful workshops for us today. Another big round of applause to Dr. Tung. And I hope that it was helpful for you, and I hope that it gave you some time for reflective time, but also being creative for what you want to try out in the future for your area of the work, or even for your personal lives as well, like creating travel itinerary, and for example. So, and tomorrow we have another workshop with Dr. Tung that is more towards for our students, faculty in East Asian Studies and the broadly humanities. If you'd like to join us, we have a little bit smaller number for tomorrow, but if you'd like to join us, and I think certainly he might cover something he has shared with you today a little bit, but I think there will be some other areas that he will be covering as well. So you're more than welcome to join us. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.